Hello students, welcome to this week for another interesting topic and exciting topic. Though it's a follow-up topic to last week's topic in which we had farm records. This week we are going to have bookkeeping. And if I may ask, have you ever kept any records of things you bought and things you sold before? If you have done that, you are a bookkeeper. So, as we go along, you will know the types of record you have kept. Don't forget, send the quiz and also answer the content page questions. See you in class.
Bookkeeping. In bookkeeping, we are looking at the financial transaction of a farm, and it is also called farm accounts. When you write out the details of things that are bought and sold in a farm, so we are looking at bookkeeping. The persons that keep these accounts is called bookkeeper. And on the other sector, like at school, he can be called accountant. The books he's going to use in recording all these transactions are: 1. The cash book, the farm ledger, and the journal. So these are the 3 books that the bookkeeper will use in recording the financial transaction of a farm. But there are certain documents which will contain the information from where the bookkeeper will information from. These documents are called source documents. And among the source documents I'm going to look at today or this week are sales invoice. I also have another one, purchase invoice, debit note and credit note, checks, receipts, etc. The first one I'm going to talk about is sales invoice. A sales invoice is just an ordinary receipt, and I know you have bought any item before and you were issued a receipt by the seller. So in that receipt, you see the quantity of the goods you just paid for, the amount, the name of the establishment, the signature of the owner, and some cases they ask you to also sign as a buyer, then the dates. All these are indicated in a sales invoice. Then the second one is purchase invoice. Actually, there is no big difference between sales invoice and purchase invoice. It is just like the sales invoice, but here the name of the farm, if it is a farm that is purchasing any item, for example, Mr Osifo Farms Enterprise went to buy some agricultural tools like shovel, cutlasses, hoes, and all that to work in the farm. Then, because it's Mr Osifo Farms Enterprise that is buying these tools, who is buying, it is the name that owns that farm, just like I said, Mr Osifo Farms Enterprise, that will be issued the receipt. Instead of in sales invoice, it was the agent's name that was written, but here in purchase invoice, the name of the farm should be written, and that is why it's called purchase invoice. So every other items, like the number of items I bought, the date, the amount, all will still correspond with that of the sales invoice. The only difference here is that it is being issued with the name of the establishment that is purchasing those items. Invoice, it was the name of the agent or whoever is standing in that will be written or that will sign for the establishment. whereas in purchase invoice, it is issued to the name of the establishment and no longer the agent or supervisors that went to buy the items. Another document is a credit note. Now, what is a credit note? Here, though we are seeing a credit note template format, it's just the format in which a credit note is designed. What is actually a credit note? It is a memo sent from a business to a customer, informing that customer that money has been added to the customer's account. Now, why do you think this may occur in a farm? If a customer decides to buy items from a farm, for example, and he has succeeded in buying these items, probably he paid for example, 12 items, and when he returned home, he found out that only 10 were delivered to him. So he had to inform the farm business or the owner that, look, I paid for 12 but only 10 was delivered. So he has to send a debit note to the owner. Why the owner, again, will identify or rectify these anomalies with a credit note informing him that the money will be sent to his account soon. And when preparing this credit note, it should be written in red ink. That is to show that it's a credit note. Now, other conditions why a credit note may be sent could be when a supplier already gets back the goods sold by him. That is to say that the buyer has successfully returned the goods, then he will not pay or send a credit note. Although in some cases, a customer can also decide to send a credit note to the seller, which is the businessman. If however the things purchased was overcharged, that is to say that he has collected more than what he also paid for, he now send a refund to the owner, which he will use a credit note. So looking at these templates, we have the date, the address. This address can be the owner of the business address, then the phone number, the credit number, and all. Under the description, this is where the business owner will describe the items that were overpaid for and also describe the quantity and the unit price of each item. Then the amount to be credited will be written by the owner to the customer. I want to talk about the debit note. A debit note is a document that is usually used by a buyer to inform a supplier, which is the farmer in this case now, of the quantity and the amount of goods he has returned to the seller, and therefore requesting that such cash amount be returned to him. That is, for example, he already have collected the goods and also has paid in cash to the seller. But getting home, he discovered that it is not the actual amount, or it was not the actual quantity that was supplied. So he will send a debit note to the seller, informing them of the anomalies, so expecting a refund of that quantity that was not supplied. So he sent a debit note, while the seller will send a credit note to him. I sincerely hope you are following the explanation. So right now we are going to look at check, and this check could be the means of payment of this exchange of this debit and credit note. So it's an instrument of payment. It can be used by the farm to pay for purchases, and also can also be used in paying the farm products bought by customers. Remember, check is associated with current account, so you can't use one in a savings account. No, you use check in current account. It can be used for payments. Though there are what we call cross checks and open check. I may not want to go into the details of that. Here, we just want you to know that it's a means of, or an instrument of payment for that exchange of that debit note and a credit note, especially when you are buying items in the farm. The next one I want to talk about is receipts. Though receipts is not different from sales invoice. It is just issued for products that are sold to customers on cash basis. If you are paying directly presently while you are buying, that's cash basis, so you just be issued a receipt. The receipt is an evidence of payment for the product bought in the farm. So all the features that are present in sales invoice are also present in a receipt. Before I go into journal preparation, I'd like to let you know that the same importance of farm record are also the importance of bookkeeping, because I said bookkeeping is just a part 2 of farm record. In farm record, we are only talking about the general record, daily activities of the farm, but in bookkeeping, we are concerned only with the financial transaction of that farm. So a lot of calculations we are going to do in the class. For example, we are going to talk about the profit and loss account in bookkeeping. It leads us to journal preparation or journal entry. Journal is a book that entries are first made when recording marketing transactions in the farm business. Remember, I told you there are 3 types of books that are used in farm accounting, which are ledger, cash book, and journal. So journal is one of them that is used in recording financial transactions. It is used to classify daily transactions of the farm before they are recorded into the main accounting book, such as ledger. Now we have types of journal. There are general journal and special journal. The general journal actually takes record or account of those that are debited and credited in the farm. That is to say that if you buy, the account will be debited, and if you are sold items, your account will be credited. This can be recorded in the general journal. While a special journal will take care of 4 different types. The sales, only that you are selling, it will be recorded on that. Then the purchase journal will be on those things or items you are buying using the farm's name. Return inward journal is also another aspect in which, for example, items are returned but they are paid for. When items are returned to the farm, then it will be recorded in return inward journal. But on the other hand, when items are returned but those items that were returned were not initially paid for, it will be recorded in return outward journal. Types of journal that are found in the farm business. Yes, before I finally call it a day, there's this practice question that may interest you, which I feel is also very, very important. This present 2000 and 2001 SSC NECO examination, we have question number 9C, which we are going to use as our practice question. And the question reads, in 2020, Mama and Sons poultry farms recorded the following farm details before the end of December. Number 1, sales of manure 12,000. Cost of 1,000 day-old chicken 66,000. Number 3, cost of feeds 105,050 naira. Management of the farm, miscellaneous 45,000. Labor 30,000. Sales of egg 115,000. Sales of feathers 36,000. Gift from bank to marketers 5,000. Egg used in farm by workers 7,000. Birds for household needs 12,000. The question is, you were asked to calculate the profit accruing to Mama and Sons at the end of 2020. I hope you got the question right. Can I go over again? Yes, okay. In 2020, Mama and Sons poultry farms recorded the following farm details before the end of December. Number 1, sales of manure 12,000. Cost of 1,000-day-old chicken 66,000. Cost of feed 105,050 naira. Management of the farm miscellaneous 45,000. Labor 30,000. Sales of egg 415,000. Sales of feathers 36,000. Gift from the farm to marketers 5,000. Egg used in the farm by workers 7,000. Best for household meals 12,000. The question is, calculate the profit accruing to mama and sons at the end of 2020. I hope you can do this exercise while we meet in the class to solve or to give you the solution.
Thanks for watching my video. I hope it was an exciting and interesting topic. See you in my next class. Bye.